This is Rich. Ted Cruz, the senator from Texas, went to Cancun in the middle of his state, freezing, people dying. And what's his explanation? He's on his way back to Texas from Cancun after he was spotted boarding a plane to Mexico with his family. In a statement, Cruz said he flew to Cancun to accompany his daughters who had a school vacation and wanted to, quote, take a trip with friends, unquote. The story comes amid the ongoing crisis in Texas, where millions were left without power and freezing temperatures due to a winter storm. It gets worse. Ted Cruz issued this statement. This has been an infuriating week for Texans. The greatest state and the greatest country in the world has been without power. We have food lines, gas lines, and people sleeping at the neighbors' houses. Our homes are freezing and our lights are out. Like millions of Texans, our family lost heat and power too. With school canceled for the week, our girls asked to take a trip with friends. Wanting to be a good dad, I flew down with him last night and I'm flying back this afternoon. My staff and I are in constant communication with state and local leaders to get to the bottom of what happened in Texas. We want our power back, our water on, and our homes warm. My team and I will continue using all our resources to keep Texans informed and safe. This was 16 hours ago, according to Keith Edwards, taken at 4 p.m. today. Per this screenshot, the flight was at 4:45 p.m. coming out of Houston to Cancun. And as you see, as a police escort. Meanwhile, at least 30 people have died in connection with this week's winter storm, the Associated Press reports. Freezing temperatures are expected to continue in part of Texas on today, Thursday. Meanwhile,
this kind of weather, freezing temperatures have gripped parts of the state for days now, pushing the power grid beyond its capacity, leaving millions unable to heat their homes.
It's pretty bad that, as Texans, we just can't prepare for cold. And every other part of the country, this would have not been even an issue.
As Texans head to shelters to stay warm, the widespread outages have become the center of a political fight.
If the Biden administration is going to try to eradicate fossil fuels in the United States, every state is going to constantly have challenges like what America has seen take place in Texas right now.
The governor used an interview on Fox News to peddle misleading claims, blaming frozen wind turbines and solar panels for the overall systemic failures.
The statement is not true to start off with. Most of the power outages that we have are the result of natural gas plants and coal plants, even nuclear.
Democrats say the bigger issue here is aging infrastructure.
I would say 100% of the blame goes to Greg Abbott and the Republicans just for years and years of neglect and mismanagement.
Most of Texas is powered by an independent grid, so it avoids federal regulations and upkeep requirements, helping to keep customer prices low.
Up until now, it's been an issue of, well, no, we don't think that's worth it to the ratepayers for what might be a very infrequent weather event.
Texans are anxiously waiting for this cold snap to break, desperately ready for their power to return.
Just hoping the lights will come back soon enough.
This problem has lingered for a long time. I was at the University of Texas in Arlington when this happened, December 18th, 1983, the 31st anniversary of the historic cold snap. And it reports that on December 18th of that year, one of the severest Arctic cold snaps in modern day plunged into Texas. The mercury dipped below freezing at 7 a.m. and remained below freezing until December 30th for a record of 295 consecutive hours of freezing, sub-freezing temperatures. The same complaints were mounted, but the power outages were nowhere near as great. And for this reason, in 1983, the Texas population was at 16 million. Since then, as you can see by the dot, now let's watch what happens with that dot when it goes up to present day, where Texas is 29 million. The Texas population has increased from 16 million to 29 million over that period of time since the last major freeze. And Texas over that time has not improved its infrastructure. Therein lay the problem. So as Ted Cruz, seen here at the Cancun International Airport before boarding his plane back to the United States, returns, he has a gigantic problem of credibility to deal with, as well as an even bigger problem of Texas energy mismanagement. And not only that, it's the optics that just the plane looked bad. Check this out. Ted Cruz is coming back as the power outage tracker is reducing dramatically, as this report indicates by Greg Diamond on Twitter. You see? So could it be that Ted Cruz is returning because his power is back on? Whatever the reason, it's quite clear that when the going got tough, Ted Cruz went to Cancun and then blamed his family for having to do so.